Hello.
Hello,
Getting
cutie
good
with
at
the
these.
glasses.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. It's I'm like, maybe one day we'll record on a weekday. On Sundays, I don't do my hair, so.
Oh, yeah. No, well, you know what? We'll get into this in the episode too, because I have a lot of thoughts around
Okay.
this. So I hope this is all cohesive. I feel very chatty, which is a good thing. I think that means I'm more open and aligned. I've done a lot of work this week. And so the more
Yeah.
bubbly and chatty that I am, the better,
Well, you
I
finally
feel
feel
like,
better. You had a cold
yeah,
for a
shit's
couple weeks.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Mhm.
wee, so I'm chatty. I'm spastic. We're in that episode today, folks. So sorry, Tressa, and sorry to those that listen. I'm full-fledged Gemini today. I'm chatty, chatty, chatty. But yeah, so my skin. I shared earlier today
Oh,
some
yeah.
skincare with Tressa. Yeah, and like I'll get more into this too, but like my skin has been really weird this week. I've actually had really odd breakouts. I it's been around my mouth, which could be hormonal. I'm doing a lot of cleansing and clearing around communication and energies tied to communication, especially my family. So I'm not really
Mhm.
shocked. I'm not shocked about a lot of this stuff. And I chat GBT'd it too, and it's like, oh, you've turned 30. And so your hormones. I
Good.
was like, oh, thanks, chat. It's so fun.
Screw you, ChatGPT.
Yeah, fuck you, man. Didn't ask for that. But anyways, keep me humble. So anyways, but I bought this new skincare and I love skincare and I love makeup and I love beauty products and fun stuff. Like I think it's super, super fun. And I've always been into makeup and really into skincare and beauty products and stuff. And I really haven't been in a while. Like, one, I've redirected my spending. I'm not spending anymore. We've talked about this several times out of, the overconsumption or to try to feel something or to feel a hole or a void. Like, I've rewired my brain. It's actually working. The healing it's happening, right?
Mhm.
So I've been very intentional with my spending. But there's other layers to it too, which I'll cover later. But this week, though, I decided to, there's a ton of Black Friday deals. And everything I bought skincare wise is literally all the stuff that I normally used to use, like a vitamin C and then a Bachucal. I'm totally probably butchering that, but it's an alternative to retinol. It's mushroom, so it's more natural. And I've
I've
used it
never heard
off
of
and
it.
on for years. I love it. I love it. I've used it off and on for years. And it's alternative to retinol. It's more like if you think of Korean beauty or you think of like more clean skincare, that's where that would fall into. But I've known about it since my pregnancy with Nola. There's another thumbs up. And so at least 6 years because my skin with her got fucked. It
Like
was
when you
so
were
bad.
pregnant?
It was it
Yeah.
was historically horrifying. It was very, very not good. And so I've known about a lot of these things and in my journey, but I haven't really used anything like that, honestly, in a year. And we all know what's happened in a year, right? And so we'll lead to that. But I literally got the products today and I put on the vitamin C and then I put on the Bachucal. So if I'm butchering it for all the estheticians out there and people that are way better at enunciation and pronouncing things than I am, in this moment, yes, you can laugh at me. But either way, I used it and then I used the moisturizer that I sent Tressa and talked to Tressa about. I'm not joking, but like my skin is glowing.
I
Like
know, I was like, your skin looks amazing amazing.
one use,
You are
folks.
glowing. You are
One
glowing.
one fucking use, folks.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think a lot of it has to do with other things internally too, right? And the energy, and there's a lot going on. But I put it on my skin and I felt beautiful all day. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. And I'm like, wow, like my skin is glowing and like I'm so radiant, And then I was telling Tressa, I cut my hair. I cut like 3 inches off the length and then I shaped up my layers. And I have not had a cut over 1.5 inches to maybe an inch and maybe some layers in 3 years or so. So think about all of the energy your hair holds and
Yeah.
your nervous
That's a good
system
point.
and all this, you know what I mean? Like there's a whole lot of
Mhm.
shit happening with your hair, when you think about it and it's coming from your head and your crown and there's a whole lot, right? And the other thing too is I like to dye my hair and I like to do highlights and Tressa's known me blonde and brunette and blonde and all sorts of colors. And I've just went to the salon and been like, fix my root, do a glaze. And I mean, in that tone, thank you, for a year. And this last time I went, I was like, you know what? I love the 90s cuts. They're very popular. The curtain bangs are back. I
Yeah.
think I have a lot of hair. I have a shit ton of hair. I've been blessed with hair. So in this episode, we're talking about gratitude. I'm very, very grateful for my hair.
Yeah. You do
I've
have
got a
beautiful hair.
wonderful yeah,
Yeah.
it's magic,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
cannot complain. The Lord, the universe, everything, genetics blessed me with a great head of hair. And so when it gets super bogged down and heavy, it looks heavy.
Hmm.
It just isn't. And so like layers in this cut makes me feel more free and open, exciting, and like it's super cute and it's fun and it's not as heavy and like oh. And so I just feel really good. Like I honestly feel great. Like I haven't done anything different. I'm really kind of bloated right now, to be honest. Like I could use a good cleanse probably, but, like, today I feel beautiful. I'm like, "Wow, I'm so beautiful." And, like, it's been just one of those days, and I'm not glammed out. I don't have a ton of makeup, you know what I mean? I don't have makeup on. I'm like I said, I'm honestly kind of like, I am a little puffy. Like, I could probably use a detox and some more water, and I've eaten, Chinese, like, so we know how that goes. And so it's been like, you know what I mean? But I feel great. So, anywho, this is that. I feel really good, and I feel really great, and, I say that I've been doing skincare and things like that, but, like, I really haven't been.
Uh-huh.
And I know now why. I know now why, and this week really opened that up for me.
Yeah, that moisturizer that you sent me, I think this is the coolest thing. Like, I hope they mean this. Like, I think this is powerful to put into their product.
Mhm.
Like, when Myra sent me, like, the packaging, and I thought this was really
Yeah.
cool. Self-kindness mantra, and you can say the brand name so we can give them credit, but may I be well, may I be healthy, may I be happy, may I feel at peace, may I feel safe, may I be at ease, may I feel loved and cared for. And I thought that's so cool. I would totally try that moisturizer because of that. And I think a couple of weeks
Mhm.
ago we were talking about, like, in general, like, businesses
Mhm.
that are building their business out of love,
Yep.
and that feels like
Yep.
love, right?
I know.
Like,
You have no
yeah,
idea. I was like, "Oh, yeah, they're gonna survive." When I opened the
yes,
box, I'm
100%,
like, "They'll
yes.
make it. They're gonna make
As
it."
long as their
Yeah,
intention is truly that,
you know
right? You know?
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think the products are based, like, with goat milk, if
Oh,
I'm not
really? Mhm.
mistaken. Yeah, and so, you'll their website's super cute. It's called Beekman 1802.
Mhm.
And I prayed to the heavens that I said that right. We used to have another podcast, and I was really good at, like, knowing the person personally, and then I would say their name was something completely different. So, yeah, okay, it's Beekman
No, I think
1802,
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah, that's what you
It
sent
is
me,
right,
yeah. You
and,
got it.
yeah, I'm really great. So, I have honestly kinda not forgotten about them, but, like, I just kinda put them to the side, and then this week, I've been really inspired to buy skincare, and the coolest thing is, like, a week ago, I asked my niece, I'm like, "Hey, you're a TikToker, go find me some, like, skincare." I think that we talked about it last episode. I'm like, "Go
Oh,
find
yeah.
me some, like I need something, like, go help me. I don't wanna do Botox personally." And I said, "So go find me something," and then all of a sudden, this stuff started coming up, and it was recommended again, and then they've had these crazy sales. And everything's like 40% off. And so,
Yeah.
like, every day I wake up and I'm like, "Man, I really hope that goes on sale," and it goes on sale, and then the next day it goes on, you know what I mean? So, like, I even ordered that one through Amazon. Amazon did it on sale too. So, like, I got all these things and, I'm, like, super jazzed about it. So, anyways, I really like their brand. I like what they stand for. I've also bought another outfit the other day that was like a sweatsuit, and they're made it's called Comfort, and they're like a heavier
Oh, I
material, so
love that stuff.
it's supposed
Yes.
to be weighted for anxiety.
It is. It's
Yeah.
so great. Yes.
Do you have Comfort?
I have comfort. Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
I
okay,
have
yeah,
comfort.
so
Yes.
yes,
Now, disclaimer, until you just said it, I didn't think about it being weighted, but they're like heavy, like they feel so good. I have
yes,
to say I got a pair last year for Christmas and I put them on and I was like, they're thick and I was like, I'm gonna hate these. I love them. And then
yeah,
Troy bought me a pair about 8 months ago, another pair that didn't
yeah,
have the elastic
yeah.
and around the legs, and I was kind of little I wasn't that grateful when I got them, I'll have to say. I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna wear those." I was not, I just thought, "Oh, no, I don't think
Yeah,
I'm gonna wear those." Every night when I come home, that's all I wear. He's like, "Well, for now, so no, that's what you get
that
yourself
is
into
so
when you come
funny.
home."
Well,
Because it feels so good.
they're like stupid sale right now, girl.
Oh, they are?
Their shit's
Okay.
like $50
Oh, wow.
or
Okay, I
less.
gotta
Yeah,
go
like
look. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you
they're
can
amazing.
yeah, they're amazing, and their whole point of the brand being weighted is for mental health and, like, to combat anxiety.
Mhm.
Don't know if you know
That
that,
makes
and,
so
like,
much. No, I didn't.
they
No.
have a whole, like, collection called the Affirmation Collection, and then, like, some of the stuff in the tags are like, "I hope you feel well, and I hope you feel good, and I hope you feel amazing." Like, but the whole basis of the product is to the reason they're thick and they're heavy is to feel like to help feel comfy and to help combat anxiety, kinda like a weighted blanket.
That is so amazing. Like, I had no
Yeah,
idea about the brand
yeah.
because I've not bought any for myself. I've been gifted 2 pairs now, but I
That's so
do wear
crazy.
them all the time.
Oh, well, go check
And I've
out
never
their web
even noticed my tag. I wonder if my tag says something really cool.
well,
Yeah.
I must confess, folks, I'm a brand person, though. Like, that's my jam. I love it, like, career-wise, and I love it personally. Like, I love it. I love it so much, and so I notice everything. I notice all the details, and so that stuff matters to me. Like, so but both products, like, we talk about this in our profession, like, the customer experience, like, what am I getting from this product? But, I've been tuning into how are brands aligning with me too. Like, I don't want to participate in the overconsumption of consumerism. I love things. Don't get me wrong. Do I fucking love clothes? Hell yeah. Do I like new clothes? Of course. I love shoes. I love it all. I love makeup and getting my hair done. Count me in. But I've really directed like what I'm buying and where I'm buying my products from. And like,
Mhm.
I've been even my clothing brands, I've been really thinking about, okay, well, how long will these pieces last me? Like, are they even, what am I going to do with them? Like, will I even wear them? And, I've even been like reshopping my closet. I don't need to get into all that, but I've really been aligning myself with what I'm putting on my body, like the fibers that I'm putting on my body. I try not to wear polyester if I can help it. Like I've been trying to stick to more natural fibers like cotton, just to really align with, okay, so here's what I'm buying, here's what I'm doing. And then the products I sent Tressa, they rank really clean. I think it's called the Yuka app. I sound like a boomer. So if you're a boomer and you listen, I'm so sorry, but oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I think it's called the Yuka app. Either way, it's an app that ranks products with how clean they are, like if there's no
Okay.
like certain fillers and certain additives. And again, if someone's an avid Yuka user, so sorry. Yeah, you can laugh at me too. I've given you lots of content to giggle about while you're on your drive today or on your jog or whatever you're doing and when you're listening to this. But yeah, so it's super clean too. So like everything you're putting on your skin, so even that skincare line is supposed to be clean and it's ranked 100 in the score. So just some things I've been like really thinking about as I'm not perfect. I still use Mr. Clean freaking Clorox counter cleaner. So it's not like I'm over here throwing everything out, right? I like my guy. And but I've really been thinking about like what am I doing and who I'm aligning with too. What is that a reflection of me?
Yeah, I get that. You can't do it all at once. I've
Yeah,
been
exactly.
trying to do similar things like with my makeup, like
Mhm.
researching or more organic makeup, you
Yeah.
know? And I think you got to start slow or like what you're doing, like more natural fibers.
Yeah.
When I went shopping last week, we went into a metaphysical store
Mhm.
in Salt Lake called the Dancing Crane. And I bought a lot of stuff in there. I bought singing bowls. I bought a lot of
Mhm.
jewelry pieces that I love. But I'd never actually to have a little clothing section. I'd never looked at it. And I was just drawn right to it when we walked in.
Yeah.
And you could just feel
Mhm.
the difference of the fabric. It was just
Yeah.
so soft and inviting. And, it's just like it really started me thinking about that too. Because I honestly
Yeah.
hadn't given much thought to what fabrics I'm putting on my body.
Yeah.
I got myself a sweatshirt and I got a gift in there for my mom for Christmas. And it's just like, yeah, the material and what the organic, cotton,
Yeah.
all 100% cotton, you can feel it.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just totally different. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a good start because I'm like you, I still use cleaners, but I have tried to make,
I'm not perfect.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not out here. I'm not even
yeah.
professing. I who knows?
It's
And
the
this is
psychological part in my
yeah.
brain. It
Yeah.
is. I've tried, like, it's because of that programming that we have and the smell.
Mhm.
Like, you smell, like, the Clorox or you
Yeah.
smell
Is
what
it
one am I thinking
pheromones?
of? What's that?
Pheromone? No,
No,
pheromones?
it's like that
No.
cleaner, though. I associate that because,
What is
like,
it called?
the pneumonia or
No, no,
whatever,
that's it.
that's what I
Yeah,
grew up on, so I
yeah.
associate that to equal clean in
Cleanliness.
my
Yeah.
home.
Mhm.
It's a psychological thing to break,
Yeah. Oh,
and that can be hard.
I've done the organic cleaners. I have been fully committed to it. I was really committed to it when Ola was little. Have I been the best since? No, but I'm just honest. I'm not perfect with it, but I do the best that I can, and I think about some of those things, but, you can't win them all. And so then I'm
Yeah,
okay with that. Like, it's balance. Like, if I'm drinking water and moving my body and wearing cotton, we're doing something, like,
and
I'm
some
trying.
organic makeup
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, I'm not like
good skincare.
yeah, so I'm doing the best I can, and I'm okay with yeah.
I started thinking as we were talking about different products and stuff, I was like, maybe this is our first organic episode. We don't even realize we're doing it. Like,
Yeah.
of what is Oprah's favorite things that she used to do
Oh,
every
yeah,
Christmas? I'm
yeah,
like,
yes,
maybe
it
this
is
is Myron and Triss's first, like,
favorite things.
favorite
Um,
things. Yeah.
yes, it is. Well, there's
And if
2.
and when this ever goes viral, maybe we'll be like, and you get one, and you get one.
Comfort and Beekman 1802.
That's
Call
right.
me any day you want to, please. I got this zip-up sweatsuit from them, and I got a size larger than normal, and they're made oversized. They're meant to be big and cozy and comfy, like, it's not meant to be this skin tight, like a
No.
not like a Lululemon jacket or something. I don't know what to compare
Yeah.
it to. But anywho, I felt like a turtle in a half shell, like the Ninja Turtles, and Blake's like, "Nah, girl, you're a turtle in a full shell," because it's, like, green. It's, like, full green.
It's great.
He's like, "Yeah, you're a turtle in a full shell. You don't even have." Anyways, it was just so funny how he said it, but it's cute, and I love it, and so, yeah, call me anytime, any of those brands. I will gladly, gladly, gladly support, but yeah.
I'm so stoked that you educated me on why I love the comfort so much. I couldn't tell why, but like, I mean, I'm not joking, listeners. Every day, that's my go-to pants as soon as I get home. And like last week, they got dirty, so it took a few days for Troy to do the laundry. He does the laundry around here. And I come home one night and he didn't have the laundry, and they were in my room stacked up all folded. And I was so excited to put it back.
That's the little wins. Well, now you know. Now you know, and now you need to go look at
No,
their website.
yeah,
What's
now I'm
going
gonna
on,
check it
girl?
out myself.
They ain't playing. They're doing some crazy
This
stuff.
might be
Yeah,
a
that's
good
how I
Christmas
found them.
gift too.
Yeah, they, like, went
Yeah.
super hardcore,
Did they?
like, on my I've been served like crazy, their ads, and then my friend bought from them and then bought again, and, they even make little kids, so I was looking at sets, like, matching sets
Oh,
and
cool.
stuff, so it's
Yeah.
cute. It's a
Yeah.
cute little so far, I like it unless they're lying too, you know what I mean? I have to trust, that's what we were talking
Yeah.
about. Like, I believe if they truly believe in that, and if there's like, they truly believe in the mental health space, and then also with being men, if they truly believe in that too, I'm glad I'm aligned with these brands, and obviously something's working with skincare. I mean, this is one damn use, and I'm
Yeah.
glowing. So,
Yeah.
I
That's for
mean,
sure.
this
The
is
proof
the
is there.
day. Yeah. Yeah, like, hello, it's working.
Well, we're talking a lot about gratitude already because I mentioned to you
Yeah.
earlier. We talked today about what we're going to discuss, and just because this episode will come out the day before Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
we thought gratitude would be a cool topic. Gratitude and forgiveness, which really kind of play into each other.
Mhm.
Um, And I was just thinking, I didn't share this with Myra before. We didn't talk a whole lot before the episode. So sometimes that's good because we save all the good stuff for the episode itself. But this weekend, my husband and I were able to take my nephew Gus to Laramie, to the Wyoming Cowboys game where Josh Allen had his jersey retired. And it was so cool. We drove over Friday evening after he got out of school. And he's 15, y'all.
Mhm.
Being 15 is not easy. But he was so fun. It was such a cool, I had so much gratitude. Like Friday night,
Yeah.
you know, on our 4-hour drive, he wasn't on his phone. I wasn't on my phone. Fred better not have been on his phone because he was driving. No, none of us were distracted. Right. And we just chatted the whole way. Like he was telling us about
Yeah.
his school and people. And, he would be like, he caught on that he has to tell us who the parents are or who the
Oh,
grandparents
yeah.
are for us to know. It was just it was such a fun experience. Like, and throughout the drive and as we got closer to Laramie, I just really my heart was so full of gratitude because I just got to get to know my nephew. I mean, we see each other, but there's usually family around or things going on, and there's never one-on-one time or, you just don't get to have that kind of time together. And
Yeah.
I truly was so grateful for that. It's kind of the same thing yesterday. We hung out all morning, got to go to the game, and he was
Mhm.
telling me about the plays because he played football this year. So
That's
it was
awesome.
just, I had so much gratitude in my heart. And the funny thing is I was sharing with Myra that when I got tickets for the game, I was being a bit of a brat, a bit of a diva, because I wanted suite tickets. Normally, when I go to the games, I'm in a suite, I'm in a box.
Yeah.
And I did not get suite tickets this year. And what's funny about this is I got these tickets in September, October, so it's been a few months. And I've had a couple of conversations with the people who gave me the tickets, which I'm very grateful for. But my guides were like, just appreciate it, trust us that it's going to work out. And as we got there, and it was a beautiful day, 50 degrees, the weather was amazing, like I wasn't freezing my ass off. And the funniest thing is if we would have been sitting in where I thought I wanted to be, we would have had
Yeah.
no view of Josh, no view of any of it really.
Yeah.
Because we were on the opposite side, we could watch him in his box, which was open. We could see everything really great. And that's what my nephew
Yeah.
wanted to see. And so grateful. Like, worked out so much better than in my own mind, in my own monkey mind, could have imagined. And
Yeah.
you know, like really appreciated it. And I mean, my guides, even when I got the tickets, they're like, this is going to be good. Just trust us. Like, but I couldn't
Yeah.
tell why. But I was really, really grateful because I was sitting across looking at where I normally would have been. And I'm like, you wouldn't have seen any of this.
Yeah.
You would have seen none of it. Like all of it was right in front of me. Everything would have been backwards or clear across.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, it turned out really good, Myra. Yeah, I had no business being a bitch about it.
No, I get it. I was, you know what though? I was sad for her too. So this isn't just Tressa being a turd. I mean, honestly, like this was sad when you've been accustomed to the treatment, I mean, like there's like, listen, it's part of it. Like, right. You get these things, you experience you experience something this way and you're kind of accustomed to it. So you have
You
an
get used to
expectation.
it. Yeah.
You get used to it. And so, like, I think it's what's really cool about it is I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen a ton of footage of that
Yeah.
day of
Yeah.
yesterday. And I know exactly what you mean. You wouldn't have seen shit. And I'm not gonna
I
lie
wouldn't
to
have got
you
to see,
in
I
the
was
box.
sending Myra
Oh
pictures
my,
of him because I could kill him.
yeah,
Have fun.
yeah. She could see him. I know. I'm like, all right, go kidnap him. Like,
Yeah.
let's take him home now. Two married people can still join together. No, I'm just kidding. My poor Blake laughs. Blake has a lot of joy in this, but I joke because I say Blake's like Timu Josh Allen, and I'm a Timu Haley Steinfeld, and I laugh because he wore an outfit Blake would have wore. And he
And
had
he
his damn cell
totally
phone in his
did.
pocket. He had his cell phone in his front pocket. I sent it to Blake. I'm like, oh my God. And Blake's like, you can never talk about my clothes again. And he's like, this is like legit what I would wear. And he
It's
looked
so
like
true.
he laughed so hard about it. Yeah. But I agree with you. Like, and
Yeah.
also too, I think like the synergy of that day of yesterday and with the energy of the people and the people around you, that is not experienced in the box. Like I
No.
love box tickets. Don't get me wrong. They're badass. But you do not experience the game in the same way. It's an experience in itself. But if you want to be where the people are, like Ariel, or you want to be, where the fun and the energy and for Gus in the moment, it was being in the crowd, like being in the seats, being with the people, joining in, feeling the camaraderie, seeing it with your own eyes. It's an experience I don't think you could have had in the box.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's kind of what I kept feeling going up to it. It's like, this will be an experience that you're all going to remember for different reasons. And the guy sitting
Yeah.
next to Troy, like they both knew football well, so they were chatting about stuff. And
Yeah.
then pretty soon there was an older woman to Gus's, right? And she was so funny. Because my nephew is 6'1", he's 15, but he looks, just being
Gosh.
tall. So she's like, "Oh, you go to school here?" And he's like, and I look at her, I'm like, no, he's 15. She's like, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "There's these kids, they're so tall now. I just think everybody's in college." And she was so cute with them, trying to give him water and everything. So Yeah, just the crowd experience of the people
Yeah.
around us, we wouldn't have gotten the same thing. So it was just a good reminder. I did have gratitude. I did adjust my
Mhm.
attitude before we even went, but I was just thinking about like, imagine like if I would have immediately been in that space and trusted it more and not kind of gone there. Or, I was grateful that I was like, I know this is going to be good. This is going to turn out so great. And it did. But it was a little bit of a lesson to just start to trust more. I tell my clients
Yeah.
this all the time, right? Everything is working out for your highest good. Just sometimes it's not working out the way you believe it's supposed to work out, you
Yeah.
know? And had I gotten the way that Tressa thought she wanted it, it would have sucked. It just would
Yeah.
have. Wouldn't
Would
have
have
been the
been the
same.
same. You would have had
Nope.
clout, and that's it. Like, you'd have been like, "Yeah, I got in a box," but that's it. It would
Ooh,
have died.
yeah.
Because I don't think he
And I
even
could
went
see,
he
usually
was over in
the
a weird
box,
space.
yeah, it was packed. It
Yeah.
would have sucked
Yeah.
so bad. Normally,
Yeah.
it's not like that. It
Yeah.
looked like standing room only. It would have been awful. Like,
Yeah.
I just am grateful now
Yeah.
that, hindsight's always 20.
Yeah.
Just a good reminder to think about it that way all the time because truly gratitude is. I read this cool quote and I'm gonna probably mess it up. It won't be verbatim, but gratitude starts with what's behind your eyes, like what's in your mind, not what you can
Mm.
see, not what you can smell, not what you can
Yeah.
taste, not what your personality believes you should have. That was all ego, all personality, right? All of those things that I'm sharing with you guys was all of those things.
Yeah.
But that's never where gratitude is. I loved it so much when I thought about that. That's behind your senses. It's like how you experience it in your mind. How do you think about it in your mind? Because that thought or the intention is what's going to bring the experience. Just kind of what we were talking about earlier, like reading that from the label or the packaging from your skincare. If the
Yeah.
intention's true, that's amazing and
Yeah.
beautiful. And I feel like it is, to be honest,
I do
but
too.
it's always about that. It's always
Yeah.
about the intention.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, I like this too because it makes me think, like, the other day, even as simple as, like, cleaning my home, okay? I'm the cleaner, and I may have been not nice about being the cleaner a few times to Blake recently. Maybe not the nicest. And, I'm like and but I needed to express it. I needed to tell him, like, "Hey, look, I'm really working on, like, feeling that if I part of control and part of, like, being able to problem solve or to do things is a measure of my worth." I'm working on that not being I don't feel that way now, but I've been working on that. That's a childhood trauma, that's a trauma response. That's part of being able to like, problem solving is a good thing, but, it's honestly a trauma response, and it is for me. It's a form of control, right? And so I needed to express that to him. I needed to tell him, like, "Hey, when the house isn't clean, it feels like I failed everyone because it's an expectation that I need to be doing it because no one else is doing it. So if I don't do it, then who the hell's doing it, right?" Which isn't totally true, but I really do clean more than him. And it's honest. He'll admit it. There's this YouTube video that a former coworker, Tressa, and I used to share, like the magic table or some shit. It's true. It's very fucking
Yeah.
true. Like, shit just magically, like, blah, blah, and I can do it fast. Like, it's done up and it's done. And, anywho, I'm bringing this part up though because I have changed my mindset around it. Like, I, was picking up the other night and I just kept thinking, like, how awesome is it that I have the opportunity to pick up these things? Like, how cool is it that I can pick up my children's toys, right? Like, for me, that is an
Mhm.
experience that I really wanted to have, and I'm living that life. Like, I am picking up children's toys. How beautiful is it that I have a home that I live in, that I'm safe in, that I can clean? Like, I can clean a house, I can clean a place, right? I can do the dishes and I own dishes, right? Or, like, the dishes that we did means we've been fed. We ate together, we cooked together. Laundry's a bitch, but how cool is it we have clothes and that we have water? And I mean, that sounds bizarro, but when you change, I started looking at it that way. And honestly, the last couple nights when I've cleaned, it has not been a burden. It hasn't felt like a chore. It hasn't even felt like a responsibility. I verbally expressed that it's not my responsibility and I don't want to be burdened with that. And it's not been anymore. Like, There is help when there needs to be help, right? But I've changed my mind around it. Like, it's something I'm actually really good at. I'm good at cleaning. I can do it really fast. I like it because then I know where shit's at when it's done. And, like, I'm very
Yeah.
particular, actually, and I like to put things in places or whatever, but it's not really a big deal. I can do it, and I can do it so much faster, and it's done. And if I need to delegate or assistance or a tap in,
Yeah.
I just gotta say it. Like, "Hey, I don't wanna clean tonight. Would you wanna help do the dishes with me? Or could you do the dishes? Or what does this look," you know what I mean? Like, but I've changed my attitude around it. Either way, it's no longer feeling like, 1, I verbalize I don't want the full weight, and so I don't feel like the full weight anymore. But 2, I feel grateful that I can even do these things. Like, they're not chores. It's a blessing for me. I'm grateful to be able to make a bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've really changed my mindset around those things, and it's helped me a lot this week as I've been picking up and doing things around the house.
Yeah, I think that is amazing. It goes back to what your perception of it is, right? And I think that's a beautiful way to look at it. There are many people out there who, one, maybe don't have a home at all, right?
Yeah.
Or two, how many people who desire to have children who
Mhm.
don't get that
Yeah.
opportunity? So I love the way that you've spun that and really brought it into an energy of gratitude. I just think gratitude, since I've been practicing gratitude
Mhm.
for years now, every day it's part of my routine. As soon as I ground, I start with gratitude before I
Mhm.
ever do intention or prayer, whatever word you want to put to it. But gratitude is a powerful energy.
Mhm.
It's like one of those things I believe is called a force multiplier. When you have
Mhm.
gratitude, it goes faster. You
Yeah.
build momentum. You'll see it. And I kind of experienced that this weekend because I had so much gratitude Friday that the rest of the Saturday and Sunday were beautiful. Like it just
Yeah.
continued to be great and amazing, and things were easy and things flowed. And these kind of weekends in Laramie, you know, sometimes you don't get to go eat at a great. We found tables. The restaurants were
Yeah.
available. Like I got rid of everything. Just worked. It was just
Yeah.
like the momentum just built, and
Yeah.
I believe that's because of the gratitude I had. Because I've
Yeah,
been there many
totally.
times and it's not been that
Oh,
easy.
yeah. No.
So I believe in that energy. And
Mhm.
also, like, I believe in the energy of presence. And
Mhm.
so, it's like when you can have the gratitude and you can truly be present with the gratitude. So when you're doing the dishes, you're with the dishes, you're with the
Yeah.
water, you're with, the sensories of everything. And
Mhm.
that multiplies it even more.
Yeah.
Or, if you're picking up the kids' toys and you're sitting there like, great, well, of course I fucking gotta do this again.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, but if you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, I remember when Noah got this toy, or I remember today when Draco was playing with this,
Yeah,
or you're present with the
exactly.
energy of it. It just continues to build and build. And, I think you should challenge yourself to a week of that and just
Yeah.
watch how your world is different. It doesn't
Yeah.
take a lot of time
Mhm.
at all
Totally.
to change the momentum if you can really start to live in true gratitude.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I like going into the part of forgiveness. So, like, when Tressa and I were talking, forgiveness has come up literally all week. Forgiveness came up in a form of, my niece was interviewing my friend's husband for a project for her college class. And like, I really, really wanted her to do the interview because she's like, no, I'll just make it up. I get it. I've been there. Like, I don't want to take the time. I'll just
I'll
make this
just
up.
make up what he
And
says.
I'm like, "No, no, no, like, do it because interviewing is a skill, right? Interviewing to be interviewed, to interview others." And I
Mhm.
told her, I'm like, "It's not even about hiring people, but, like, hell, I'm interviewing Tressa, right? Like, and she's interviewing me, and we're talking,
Sure.
like, this is a skill that I get to do every day." Anywho, so I'm like, "You need to hone in these skills." Like, I support this more than I support math. So I'm like, "Do this. This is interpersonal communications. You know how to talk to people." And, so anyway, she did it. And I had the privilege of listening to the interview. And I wasn't being nosy. She did it in my home. And so I was just like kind of around and listening. But, and I've shared this with this person's wife at least, and she shared it with him too. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, this has been communicated to them. So this is a safe space. But in this conversation, she asked him about a childhood memory. And all that he could talk about was, I don't really know what I would say. All that my childhood what I remember of my childhood is my parents' divorce. And he just kept talking on and on about his parents' divorce. And he just kept talking about basically, this parents' divorce just overshadowed all the memories of childhood, just the whole thing. And it was like post parents' divorce, pre parent divorce. And so it stuck with me. So I just thought about it. And then during the week too, I'd seen some stuff come up on my feed on Instagram, and it was an old video. I mean, shit, they would have rolled into the classroom when my mom was in school. Okay, my mom is freaking 70. Like, it's old. And the guy is like standing at a chalkboard and he's writing, and he's like, there's 4 things you need to forgive. I don't know the 4th one, guys, because the video went away and I never could figure it out, but whatever, we can assume. The first 3 are great. But the first one was forgive your parents. And forgive your parents. They only knew what they knew, and they only did what they could do. And he said it way more eloquently than that. But basically, we talked about it before. When you can look at a person or an experience and think, okay, they had the tools in the tool belt at that time that they had, like they knew what they knew only then and did the best they could in that moment. Based on the tools they had to do that,
Yeah.
then, I view that with parents, right? As an example. And then the other one was forgive others, like just forgive others. And it said forgive others because it's not for them, it's for you. And, we've talked about that. Like forgiving is for yourself. You need to forgiving is to move on. Forgiving is to release. It's not yours to hold on to. It's not your energy to take. It's not yours to bear anymore. And it's not about the other person. Forgiving someone else is all for you. 100%. And I agreed with that. I'm like, totally. And the third one was forgive yourself. And, we talked about that before too, like forgiving yourself for all the things and, what are we doing and what have we done and why did we do that? We talked about regret before. What does regret look like? Or who are we in those moments? And, at times I think it's almost harder to forgive yourself more than anybody, And so I don't know who the fucking 4th one was, but the first 3 were stellar. I don't know who's left. The animals, I don't fucking know. Maybe forgive the place. I don't know. But I must have not meant to hear the 4th. So if you find it, folks, fill us in because I don't know. Anyways, so I loved it. I loved it so much. And after I heard him do the interview, I just really thought about it. And I send voice memos to my best friend. She tells me, she's like, man, you should have a podcast, even though I know you have a podcast. Like, she gets her personal podcast with my fucking thoughts. And so I send her a voice memo about it. And I'm like, I was just listening to it, the interview. And I was like, I don't know what happened, and I don't need to know what happened, and I don't care about what happened. But I really think John Marco needs to go and reflect back on that experience in whatever that is. I don't know what it was. Who cares? He don't even need to fucking tell you. You don't even need to go tell his mom and dad. But maybe just reflect on what that is. And like, there is a lot of like holding on to that anger, holding on to that resentment. Like, I don't know his parents personally. I mean, I know them, but I don't fucking know. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But, if he could be able to reach a place where he could see like, hey, parent did as best as they could for this and ex-parent did the best they could for this, and really work through what the forgiveness looks like. I was telling her, I'm like, I think would be so much more free. I know he would be more free, and he would release himself from a burden that's not his. That's not his burden to carry. And I was like, it really hurt. It broke my heart to hear him, like the heaviness in the question. Like, listen, and I'll share some about my own experience, but my shit wasn't great all the time, but I do not talk. I love my childhood. I really did. I really did. It wasn't perfect. And there was a lot of trauma into it that I don't think I've been able to truly articulate as trauma, but it was traumatic in ways. But I love my mom and dad, and I love everything that I experienced as a child. And I can tell you wonderful, wonderful, beautiful memories from my childhood. So it broke my heart that he couldn't say anything like good. It was just about this one catalyst, the first big T in his life,
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming here. And so I was talking about that and about the burden, and then about, like he is so afraid of getting to a place where like, could this happen to him in his life? Like, he's trying to avoid divorce. He's trying to avoid that and wrecking a family. Da, da, da. And I was telling my friend, I'm like, listen, it doesn't matter. You can run and run and run, but he's got to address this shit, bro. And I'm telling her, I mean, she'd be the one that got, like, I'm
She
just
will be
being
proud of
honest.
that.
Yeah, I was like, it might be you, bro. But, we were chatting, and she's gone through a divorce, and, so she knows what it's like. She's been through that part. And so she understands. And so it was a beautiful conversation that her and I had. And she, they're going to his home country, and they're going to be in this home with these people that he's not around a lot. And so, I told her, I'm like, this could be a good time, if you want to have conversations or bring it, planting the seed. I don't know, whatever you want to do. That's not my marriage. It's not my person. I want the best for him, but I can't force anything, right? And honestly, in the interview, at one point, I was loving it because she asked him for advice. What would be the piece of advice you'd give? And he said it. He's like, well, I don't really think advice is a thing. We need to all experience our own lives because me projecting my experience on you isn't going to do anything for you. And it's not for you to learn that way, right? We've talked about that before too. So he already believes in that too. So it's not for me to push my beliefs onto him. So, whatever feels natural and however that comes out. And so I think like, I'm excited for them. I hope, I told her, like, let me know how it goes, and with their relationship and the comfortability they have in their partnership, I think this could be a good place for him to be geographically in his home country and in his home place, you know what I mean? To really work through some of those things because I think ultimately in his gut, he has this beautiful life that he wants so bad, but he's got to address all these underlying things and peel the onion, right? To really kind of break
Yeah.
those cycles and break all of that, those feelings that are suppressed inside of him. And you can't tell me, and he said it, he totally articulated it. So, like, the cat's out of the bag, and she said
Yeah.
that. She's like, yeah, every time we talk about it, it's the same kind of story. And she's like, I
Yeah.
didn't really think about it. So, I bring that up from forgiveness, and I'll take a breath, but then I have more on forgiveness in a second.
Yeah, it's interesting. Couple things thinking about, what you're talking about with his interview, and two things. One, the cat's out of the bag. That means, like,
Yeah.
nothing's coincidental. Like the conversation with your niece, him going soon back to his home country, all of these things are aligning.
Yeah.
This is where I believe free will comes in because I believe that he picked his parents for a reason. We select our experience, kind of a blueprint, if you will. And the reason
Yeah.
that we do is because karma. It's all back to karma. You have to
Yeah.
balance. So the scales have to be balanced at some point. And it's difficult for us at times because our souls are older than this experience, right? We've done things to others, and the parents and the players that we select in our lives are happening for that reason. And so there's a book called, I think it's called Radical Forgiveness. I can't recall it, the title exactly,
Mhm.
years ago when I read it. But the concept of it is that, like, if you believe that everything is happening to serve you, and everything is happening to balance. The divorce that this person experienced was not
Yeah.
coincidental. And when
Mhm.
you can come to understand and appreciate that, that's where true forgiveness comes. And so, what
Yeah.
is the concept of that book talked about? What is there to truly ever forgive if everything
Yeah.
that's happening is serving you? And we have these massive labels of good and bad and horrible, this, my God, what a horrible childhood, or and
Mhm.
I used to be in that. And it's funny you talked about that because the other day I thought to myself for one of the first times ever in my life, I had an
Mhm.
amazing childhood. I was not able to say
Mhm.
that before. I was so focused on certain things that had happened and the
Yeah.
abnormalities of what my childhood looked like to what, Leave It to Beaver's parents were portraying on the TV, or
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
perceived my friends had, or whatever those things were. And I truly could sit in that and think, I had the perfect childhood for me. I had the perfect
Yeah.
childhood. And one of the things that got me thinking about that was when we were preparing and talking about taking Gus on this trip with his parents, making sure they were okay with it. As I started to think about other experiences too. And I remember I was sharing with Troy, like, some of my favorite and funniest memories were with my aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
Sometimes we might have ended up in the Colville jail, but it was still fun. My family was wild people, wild, but they were fun, and they took care of me. Like, I
Yeah.
never needed anything. You know what I mean? They never put me in danger. Really, it was fun. Like, I had a good
Yeah.
experience, and it's taken me a lot of years to get there. But
Yeah.
I truly believe that. It was the perfect experience for what I needed. And now I
Yeah.
can come, it sucks that it's taken me to 54, but here we are. Uh,
Yeah.
Now I have such a different outlook and a different
Mhm.
appreciation and a different amount of gratitude for all of the things that I got to experience. And I just view
Yeah.
them so differently than I ever have.
Yeah.
It's really
I
freeing.
love that, and that's it. Taking in the experience of what you've gone through and then what you've went through and, taking it and making it, like, when you are in a state of forgiveness and you have made this state of forgiveness, you can turn it around, and once you fully forgive, you can view the gratitude that happens with it. I went through this experience this weekend because I've been really working on my feelings around scarcity, and especially around financial scarcity and, like, what that looks like, and stability, and, like, what that was for me as a child, what I was burdened with as a child at a very young age, where I didn't feel supported emotionally or financially at times, what that looked like and what that bled into my adult life, and even in my adult experiences, not feeling supported financially or emotionally at times, right? And so I went through this experience actually yesterday. So I did a cord cutting meditation, and then I followed it by a surrender, and I didn't do I did a shorter surrender because that was just a lot going on. But I just wanted to really realign with being in flow. Like, I've gone through a lot of stuff, so I just really wanted to center myself around being in a flow state. And so part of this, after I came out of it, I felt inclined to write. I like to write. I just do. So writing burns and shit, writing, ripping away, whatever the fuck. I don't know. It does me well, for me personally.
Yeah.
It does Myra well. And I did. So I wrote down everyone who I felt let me down emotionally and financially over the years. So, and that included myself, right? Like, I let myself down emotionally and financially at times. It included even my spouse at times, and that's okay. And, and I was able to articulate to him, and he's like, nah, man, I get it. Like, I understand he's let me down emotionally and financially. My parents have
Mhm.
let me down emotionally and financially. We've talked with a podcast about interviews that I had last year. I felt like they let me down emotionally and financially. I
Mhm.
felt like the experience of union ending that let me down emotionally and financially. Like, I was able to put all of that onto paper, and, it even went deeper than those high level things. Like, I put down people. I was, and when in a writing burden, it's not PC. I just wrote it all out. Like, I wrote everything out. And even how I currently feel, I went through it all. But once I finished of the release of that, I wrote a thank you letter to all of those people and all of those experiences and all of those places and all of those moments in my life, because I have so much immense gratitude for all of it. Like, I wanted to talk about forgiveness because for me, being able to truly forgive is to truly live in gratitude. Because if
Mhm.
I did not have experiences, people, places, things that put me in those paths or put me in those positions or whatever, I wouldn't have grown. I wouldn't have been able to be the person that I am right now, or even have true gratitude for what I have right now, right? And so I needed to do all that. But, it goes back to what we're talking about with your own childhood, right? And it goes back talking
Mhm.
about their childhood and their, my friend's husband's childhood. And so all of those things, but at the end of the day, it's reframing it and being like, yeah, that happened, but I can forgive, I can let go. I'm no longer burdened by these things. It's not my burdens to carry. None of that's mine to carry. And I can live in a state of true gratitude for all that I have been given and all of the knowledge that I have, experiences, momentum, because everything is working out exactly as it needed to work. Like, you talked about karmic balance. These things had to happen. All of this stuff had to happen. These people, these moments had to happen, but holding on to that and suppressing onto that is not for me to have anymore. And I don't need to walk around with all of that. And so I just really wanted to talk about forgiveness in the concept of gratitude because, I'm so grateful that all of these things have shown me what I needed shown to me and I needed to see. And all of the things that have impacted me in my life, and people that have shown me what I needed to see, and good or bad. And so I think I really just wanted to hit on that in this topic.
Yeah, I love it. The key is that you're seeing it differently. You're choosing
Yeah.
to view it through the lens of gratitude and forgiveness and growth. And that's the choice. That comes back to the free will. To my
Yep.
point earlier, like there are certain patterns and blueprints, if you will, that you're going to experience in this life. You don't get to manifest your way out of it. Law of
Yeah.
manifestation doesn't say, these big things are not going to happen. You've designed it for that, for your
Yeah.
soul's growth. But the free will comes in about how you handle it, right?
Yeah.
the beauty is that you're looking at it differently than you ever have. Like, even I've known you now for, I don't even know, 6, 7 years, something like
Yeah.
that. And just hearing you talk tonight, I got this proud energy. Like, as I was like, oh my God, like, this is a different person I'm talking
Yeah.
to. Well, honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you because I can see you're turning major corners. And the beauty of it is that I can see it and feel it, but you are the one who can see it and feel it more
Oh,
than
for
anybody
100%.
else. You can see it in your relationships, how you are a partner, how you show up for your friends, how you show up for your children, how you show up for yourself. You're experiencing it because of that choice. You
Mhm.
know, I really pray and hope that your friend can do the same because his
Yeah,
life will feel expansive, not contractive. Right?
exactly.
That's the difference. It will feel like an expression,
Mhm.
not a performance. You know,
Yeah.
when you're in the ego, when you're in the personality, when you're in contractive energy, you know, it's just constrictive. And when you can turn the corner, everything becomes expansive. Everything becomes
Yeah.
just free. You know, you think of
Yeah.
the word freedom, that you're
Yeah.
giving yourself that freedom. And I think it's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. I also want to throw this in. This is a very long episode, but it'll get edited. I started stuttering because my husband's headphones connected to my laptop. So that's where I got sidetracked. So that'll get edited out. So it'll shorten. So if you're here this long, it'll get shortened. So I was just like, please, dear God, go away. Anyways,
I could see your eyes trying to tell somebody something.
I was like, fuck, but not right now, bro.
I'm
Not
the
right now.
little, like, Bluetooth area, like, cannot cross.
Yeah, seriously, like, this is not the moment, bro. But
Hilarious.
yeah, so anywho, but you're totally right. It is 100% free will and the willpower that you have to make these decisions. And this all comes full circle from the beginning of the episode because I have honestly not I may have articulated I'm okay and I have been semi okay. Like let me just say that. I've not been like walking around dying, okay, because I haven't. Like I promise that I haven't. But to get the true suppressed in the subconscious, right? The deep shit, the stuff in my hips, whatever the fuck, the cords, all of it, right? The real shit that I've been pushing down to feel all the feelings. It has been shown to me this week and this weekend and all these things that I've truly been shrinking. I've been shrinking. I've been kind of like trying not to be seen. Let's talk, like, think about my hair. I mentioned in the beginning, for a year, I didn't add color to my hair. I would just go to the appointments and be like, do the root, do the glaze,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. I would just go check the box, get out, and it's good enough. Let's go. Hadn't been doing my skincare like normal or buying this. I mean, I'm not excessively buying skincare, but like I bought 3 products that are basic product and typically in a routine that did this in 1 hour or 2 hour, whatever. However, I don't even know. It's been more than 1 hour. It's been like 6, but either way,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I hadn't
Mhm.
been doing the product. I hadn't been doing the stuff like this. I hadn't really cared, like, what I was doing. And, I guess part of this too is I don't guess, I know. It's the freedom and the release and the forgiveness and the gratitude also equals to me being expansive, right? But it opens me up more like this. Like, I want to be seen. I want to be seen. Like, I'm proud of me and I'm proud of what I'm doing. I'm not on someone else's timeline anymore. There is no comparison. This is exactly where I need to be in this moment. And I'm not shrinking. Like, we talk about like my current job position. Honestly, a lot of it's shrinking. I'm grateful for the position, but I could have been there forever. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's happening. Nothing's happening. Nothing's changing. But like, it's the complacent energy. Not complacent, but like playing small. And we've talked about many episodes about playing small, and we've talked about it in different forms. But this is part of it, though, because I hadn't fully released, so I wasn't truly expansive in all the ways that I could be expansive, right? Like, I didn't really want to be seen. I was trying to keep, like, I was like, fuck, that just was a lot. Like, oh my God, like last Thanksgiving, I was telling people that I don't even have a job. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, don't look at me, like, don't talk to me, don't really want to go out, don't want to go to this, I don't want to see people, I don't want to go do this, I don't want to do all these things, like, I'll just stay here. And it wasn't like 100% all that, but it was more than normal for me, right? But like, so just in a few days, the shift in myself that I've seen, like, outwardly and physically has been just so cool because it's the willpower, right? It's the free will. How are you going to take those situations and then fully work through it? I needed to work through it like I did, and I have, and I'm doing the work, and it's being totally reflective of that. Like, I want to be seen now. Like, I want to be heard. I want to welcome in, like, I'm fully open to receiving. And before I totally wasn't.
Yeah, 100%. Two things before we end, because I know we're up on an hour. We usually don't go this long, but you're right. The physical body is always a representation of the energetic body and the balance within the energetic body. What
Mhm.
you did was not through willpower, though, because we think of willpower in our society as like, I'm going to make a goal. And it's easy to use like, fitness because
Yeah.
we're so
Yeah.
screwed on what fitness is. And,
Yeah.
the diet industry makes billions of dollars off of us. But that is willpower. What I mean, willpower to me isn't like you're going to force yourself there. You can force yourself into something for a certain period of time. You can
Yeah.
force
That's
yourself
fair.
to go to the gym for 3 months to get a body image that you
Yeah.
desire. You can force yourself to do certain things. But what you did was different. You dug into self. You went out of victim energy. You
Mhm.
went into ownership of what's my ownership in this experience, not
Mhm.
what happened to me. I think about even a year ago, you being here around this time,
Mhm.
a few weeks before, and our conversation. And like, I would guess that the dialogue was, they did this, this happened to me. This
Yeah.
is, you know,
Yeah.
so, but you come out of that, right? That's
Yeah.
the difference is when
Yeah.
you do the work to go, okay, how did this serve me? How did it help me grow? And all of the changes that happened to you in the last 12 months, that was the first domino to fall. None
Yeah.
of, it was the first domino that had to fall
Yeah.
for you to come full circle almost a year, or a year to
Yeah.
the month, to make all of these changes that I
Yeah.
can feel and see and sense in you. And so it's going inside. It's not about the willpower. It's about, I mean, it is to some degree, but it's like truly accepting it, not
Y
just saying I'm going to fake it until I make it kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know, that's the difference, I think. So
Yeah.
anyway, before we say goodbye, that's just one I'd love to hear, like in our comments, if you guys do that gratitude challenge we talked about
Mm.
earlier, give it a week. Everything that you're doing, you're seeing through the lens of gratitude, like Myra talked about earlier. A simple task is cleaning her house every night. I'd just love to hear from listeners what your experience is after doing it for a little bit. So until next time, keep your vibrations high.
And stay sassy.